I'm going to show you how to calculate net force and then acceleration for these ranking task game that we played on physicsclassroom.com. So the question says rank the object according to net force. Use 1 for the most negative and 4 for the most positive. So the first thing we want to do is figure out, well, what is the net force for each of these? So I'm going to go ahead and label down here. Here's for A. And I can see for A that my forces are only to the left. And if we had a number line here with 0, our negative numbers are going to be to the left and our positive numbers are going to be to the right. So 6 newtons to the left and 2 newtons to the left, our net force is going to be a -6 plus a -2. So I have a -8 newtons, or 8 newtons to the left. My mass for A is 4 kilograms. And for this particular problem, it only asked for net force, but for some of them, it asks for acceleration. So we're going to go ahead and just solve for acceleration too, because it's something you'll need to do for a different one. But I'm going to just leave that sit there like this for right now, a little question mark. And so to solve for that, Newton's second law is F net is mass times acceleration. And so if we solve for A and rearrange the equation, we get F net over mass. So I have a -8 newtons over 4 kilograms. And what's 8 divided by 4 is 2, and we have a negative there. And my unit for acceleration is meters per second squared. So I have an acceleration of -2 meters per second squared. And that was for A. Let's go ahead and do B. For B, I have 6 newtons to the right and also another 2 newtons to the right. So for B, my F net is a +6 newtons plus a +2 newtons, so I have +8 newtons. My mass is 0.25 kilograms. And I'll solve for my acceleration, which again is F net over mass, so I have 8 newtons divided by 0.25 kilograms, which gives me 32 meters per second squared. I'm going to go ahead and do the same for C and for D. So for C, I have 4 to the right and 6 to the left. So for C, oh geez, I'm running out of room. My F net is a +4 plus a -6. So for C, I get a -2 newtons. So I have 2 newtons to the left. My mass is 0.5 kilograms. And my acceleration is F net over mass is -2 newtons over 0.5 kilograms. Gives me 4 meters per second squared. And then for D, I'll solve that one up here because I have run out of room. So for D, my F net, I have 6 to the right and 4 to the left, so I have a +6 and I have a -4. That leaves me +2 newtons. My mass is 0.5 kilograms. My acceleration is F net divided by m, which is also 4. 2 divided by 0.5. So here are all of my numbers. And if I go ahead and write those in, make this a little bit bigger. For A, I had -2 meters per second squared. For B, I have 32 meters per second squared. For C, I have 4. And for D, I also have 4. So the question says, rank them in order of net force. If I rank them in order of net force from the most negative to the most positive, my most negative is A, so this would be 1, and then 2 and 2, because those are the same, and then this would be 3. For the that would be for acceleration, sorry. Acceleration is in green. Let's do force in pink. So my net force is -8, +8, -2, and +2. So my net force is -8, +8, -2, and +2. So if I'm ranking net force in pink, I'm going to erase these so that it's not confusing. I'll get rid of these too. So now we're back looking at net force. If we go from the most negative to the most positive, this would be the most negative, would be A, and then C, and then D, and then B. So in pink, it's answering the question that was asked about net force, but what I had just done prior to that is had it asked for acceleration, which is actually a little bit more difficult. So try the next one on your own. That one does ask for acceleration, and see how you do.